Now this is a little story about how we went from about 500 subscribers to 1,000 within a year. We are a little community, and if you couldn't tell, this is our year in review. This is, if you don't know, we usually do a year in review to reflect, and then that's what we do. We reflect and we talk about it. And if you don't like that, fair enough. But for the people who do, welcome in. And this is basically just going to be us talking about some key moments that happened in the past year. Because it's technically the second year we've done Watching Walford. This is the third year. And I hope Asper's happy with that intro. And I'm ready.
That's all good by me. And like I said, someone has to recap the history and get all the lore, because it's not like somebody's going through the Watching Walford history books. Like, bloody hell, it was on the 8th of May, 2024, where they first got Piggy's new PC. You know, we got to somewhat catalogue and somewhat, I say immortalize, just committing it to videos, immortalizing it. Not like it's some great master plan. But yeah, it's just going to be us kind of going through the changes we made in the year to get where we are now. We started, last year. We basically, the timeline, as far as I remember, is we had 0 subs pretty much. We had like 1 or 2. We had about 50 subs till about 7 months in of 2023. And at that point, we blew up a little bit, got 100 subs for the first time. And then Christmas happened, where we all peaked with views and everything went a bit crazy. And then we got up to, like 300, 500 roughly?
Roughly 500, yeah.
And then throughout this year was just kind of about trying to keep it all rolling, keep it going. But I mean, where had we ended the year on? The year didn't really have the best end to 2023. Yeah, no, 4.
What year are you talking about?
I don't know. Before this last year, 2023. I didn't have the best end of 2023, being excommunicated from my job, which I did leave, but I also got fired in a sense. Christmas was a very drinky affair. But then starting 2024 was the real, now that we'd had a couple months of doing it relatively full time, as relative as to mentally ill people can.
Hey, I'm just supposed to be autistic, and it's an autistic.
But I mean, we start the year with the momentum, having the attention we never had before, straight into Christmas, like 20k views, surprise of the century. And at that point, riding the momentum, I started making all these big plans. All right, we're going to launch a Patreon. We're going to do YouTube memberships. We're going to launch everything. It'll be great. We'll be successful. We're going to start a Discord. Going to do some Q&As. Everything's changing from now. We're going to do scripted videos and everything. Did I do any scripted videos?
Technically, yes, but it was in December.
But yeah, it was a weird time, because it's suddenly we're getting all this attention that we'd never had before. And now it's just like, what do we do with it? Do you remember much about January?
What I remember about January was we had a discussion. Not like the discussion we had this January, which I might bring up. It is running through my head, okay? Let me just be angry like a granddad. I remember the war. Yeah, in January, I roughly remember we kind of... Now, my dates might be mixed up, but unless someone is a historian of the Watching Walford channel, well, congrats to you, get a better life. Sorry. But if memory serves me correct, January, we pieced together that we were going to build me a PC around January and February.
Yeah.
And all I was really using... it's right here. All I was really using to record my camera was this phone right here. Because my PC, I probably installed about 50 viruses trying to download some EastEnders on it, and it just became slow. So we decided we were going to get me a PC, and we waited till about April where it all got built, and then I visited them in April. And basically that's the start of the year. We built a PC, everything was going normal. Ash was like talking about like just he wanted to do scripted videos, he wanted to do this, we wanted to do that. And we just
didn't quite reach those. Didn't quite reach some of those, but you know, I started to started to diversify the videos a bit more. Start to go for doing more Hollyoaks stuff. I think I tried to kickstart a Coronation Street show called Rekindling the Passion, where I took a break from it because I wasn't enjoying it at all, and then I was going to watch it all in like waves and like kind of go through the journey, and then I gave up very quickly and did a very piss job of it. But no, at that time I started going into trying to do more Hollyoaks stuff, and it was a good pivot because it was kind of as covering EastEnders as like kind of as much as we have, it led to, it did become the favorite show, but also Hollyoaks was my little underdog just working away in the corner. But it also happened to be that 2024 was the year that Hollyoaks got absolutely battered by Channel 4, continuing to just gut it religiously just for fun. Like, oh, you're feeling good, Hollyoaks? Crack. No, my nose, it's just gone back to normal. Oh, Christ. All right, then. I guess I'll deal with the punches then. It's all right. I've had worse. But similar, at the same point, Piggy also got the PC for the first time. So you started to become a producer.
Yeah, for people who don't know, the original format, I can pull it up now, used to just be this, as you see Ash take his drink. Used to just be the two cameras. Yes, that is the working title that you see right now. I don't know if it's the final title, but that's if I want to use the two camera setup. But what I usually do is, so like if Ash says something, just say something very quickly.
Penis.
Yeah, then I go to him. Then when I want to say something, I cut to me. Because it would spice things up a little bit. And then obviously throughout the year, he gave me more jobs because initially the roles were reversed where Ash would read it and then he'd go to me for answers. But going to me for answers is like going to a rock and figure out how you beat scissors. You know, it doesn't work. Like, it just, why are you going to there? And we decided to flip the roles where I obviously I will read it and then I'll go to Ash who will give his proper answer. Because Ash, let's be honest, is more entertaining when it comes to like giving his text. Because with Ash, he's grounded in reality. Where I'm not. I'm more like, I want to make a joke. And that's where our two different opinions kind of align. Is it didn't really work to go, okay, so this commenter says EastEnders bloody sucks. Now Piggy, give me 5 minutes plan. And I'm like, okay. And that's
the old Strictly Come Dancing special.
It was
where
good.
It's like, yeah, it was good. And I'm like, Piggy, I've just waxed lyrical for 5 minutes talking about this nonsense. This is my first year watching Strictly, for Christ. But at this point as well, we have jumped a bit forward, but you also took over the editing, or like the bulk of the editing, which is still not like the highest degree of editing, but that's exactly how we like it. It's exactly what we want.
Okay.
We do more highly edited videos when it's actually necessary, but for what we did and for what we do with the Reddits, it doesn't need fucking TikTok edits, does it? It's just us reading a Reddit thread.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. But it still took off the workload because this was me. Because up to that point, it was me doing everything, and even whilst still doing the job, still me just like, oh, I don't have enough bloody time for this nonsense. But it freed up my time. Meant I get to be an every now and then kind of editor, which is quite lovely.
Yeah, I originally Ash just wanted me to edit the Reddit and he continued to edit the podcast, but I went, that doesn't work for me, brother, and I just took it over. I'm not a good editor. I'm not I'm not the best editor. I just fade in, fade out. Like if you want me to do the jumpy cuts of called 1 2 1 2 1 2, I can't do, I can do it, and I just did it there, which I did very briefly. But I'm not the best. I try and do everything on hand. But we'll obviously get to the Christmas where I helped out a lot. But yeah, I try my best to just be here, and I show up most the days I'm applied today, and I just do my bit. Obviously, jumping forward a bit more. Obviously, we reshaped the podcast where now I read the notes and Ash obviously just chimes in because it's more, in my opinion, more fun. It does mean that Ash on a Thursday has to sit through me for about 20 minutes. Refreshing my notes and then just be like, yeah, I wouldn't do that if I was the host. I'm like, but you're not the host. I am. I was like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. just trying to get my royalty checks for like when the monetization money comes through, you know. You know, £50 going to Ash, but £10 going to me, baby. Let's go. And that's basically like it. I'm more relegated to showing up sporadically in videos now, which I don't mind. I have no problem with.
I mean, it reached a specific point where I kind of went. I didn't necessarily go, I'm fucking sick of doing it, because we would do it because of in our somewhat full-time schedule. We would be doing like 4 days a week, but at some point I quickly realized I don't want to, because we would. The thing that I'm glad that we don't do this schedule anymore is because we would spend Monday and Thursday doing all the EastEnders stuff. But then, like, at every other waking moment in time, it's like, oh, let's record some wrestling content for the wrestling channel, which is fine. It's good fun. But also, one of these channels is successful. And I'm like, I need more time to get all the other stuff I want to do, like the Hollyoaks. I needed the time to actually try to push myself to try do more scripted stuff, which I didn't. I still am working on, but you know, this month's been very hectic anyways about trying to ride the wave of all the viewership momentum and all the success. But you know, the scripted videos will be back. But at that point, we generally just change the schedule, because I'm like, I don't want to do 4 days a week anymore. I don't want to do 12 hours of wrestling content a week. I'm gonna maybe just do less.
And what I usually do now is on the one day, let's go back to me, on the one day, like we finish our 3 or 4 videos we record. Obviously, this is different when we record on a Sunday. Can you believe it? And obviously, like, what we'll do is like, oh, that's me finished for the day, Piggy. I'm like, don't you fucking worry, I've got some ECW lined up for you. And he's like, oh, why did you ambush me? And I'm like, you knew I was going to do it. But yeah, that's mainly for the wrestling channel. But yeah, and originally I'll just briefly touch on about Who Done It. Who Done It was supposed to be like the second podcast, but it failed for obvious reasons, because again, we could do 2 like podcasts on wrestling, because you only really have to watch 1 episode a week, so it makes it easier. But what was challenging was I was doing, well, I wasn't doing anything. We would watch technically 4 hours of EastEnders, 2 hours of the like main one, and then 2 hours of the Who Done It. Plus, if you wrap in the fact that Ashton had to do Hollyoaks, which is probably an hour and a half, and
I mean, at the time it was like 2 hours or an hour and a half at least.
And then you wrap in the fact they also do Coronation Street at some point, which is roughly another 2 hours. Yeah, maybe you don't want to spend all your days just talking about soaps. Maybe you do just want to relax and play Peggle or something. Like maybe, or be Football Manager for Ash. But maybe you just want to like relax. And that's what we chose to do. Now, Who Done It? I wanted it.
It was fun. Like it was a fun show, but also it's like, considering we already had to watch 2 hours a week for the podcast, but we were also having to block out 2 hours every week to watch the EastEnders, but within everything else we were doing. So it's like, you excited to do Who Done It? Yeah. But it's just like doing 4 hours of that stuff and whatever else you were trying to do it was just a bit of a ball ache, and for not really worth the time.
Like we can continue it at some point. Will they ever come back? I don't want to say no, and I don't want to say yes.
But, mate, I've now got 2.5 hours of Coronation Street a week and an hour of Hollyoaks extra. Who done it's not coming back?
Piggy...
Unless it's being funded and we get money per episode, Who Done It's never coming back.
NordVPN, I've always loved you, mate. Can you fund me, please? But yeah, that's mainly it. Like, we grew as a channel. We worked out the kinks of what works and doesn't work. I'm an alright host. Ash doesn't really like my rambling, but like I said, I can't really be Ash. Like, I want to have a character. Like, I want Ash to basically be the straight man, where he's obviously talking, and you know, he's like your dad. He's just talking, and then you have me, who's the granddad, who brings up like how he's seen his mate gets like blown off in Vietnam. Like, you know, I'm just that weird granddad in the background, and he's the dad. Like that's how I describe it. And if people don't like it, I'm sorry, but that's why I'm here less. I'm being relegated. Oh, just like a Premier League player.
I mean, we're not even talked about Christmas. We're not even talked about Christmas.
Do you want to talk about Christmas now?
Yeah, I mean, just to wrap through the year, really.
Christmas.
But kept on doing Hollyoaks stuff. Kind of went in and out because I kind of didn't really enjoy Hollyoaks as much, so I kind of went, bugger it, be fine. But we continued, and then I don't know when I decided to start covering Coronation Street
this year.
as much, but I think it was. Once I'd started getting a bit lazy with the Hollyoaks, I just kind of went, let's do a Coronation Street video instead, easy. And then I did the We Need to Talk About Martin Platt video, which went wild. I then did all of the Gail Platt, Helen Worth exit stuff, which also went wild. And at the time, we worked pretty hard on the ranking the last 10 Christmases, which also did ridiculously well. Which were all very fun aspects.
Just to cut to me very quickly. I don't like tooting my own horn, but I remember when we filmed up Christmas, we basically filmed Christmas from September to December because we watched one Christmas episode a week in the build up to Christmas to then do the ranking.
Yeah.
Because if you're forcing us to watch 10 episodes back to back, that's at least like fucking 8 hours or some shit, and I'm not doing that. We did it once a week, and I was like, Ash, you should edit the Christmas content. And Ash was like, be fine. Ash, it's the end of November. I'm not
right,
rushing.
It's just we had a very packed schedule, right? We had the London trip, and then everything kind of went out of whack for like the next month. Let's be honest, everything went out of whack, and then September came, and then you visited at some point
in November,
and then at that point when I'm having a 2-week break, I'm knackered, and then December came, and it came as hard as ever. It was the first 2 weeks in November were both me and Piggy, who'd offered to help with the edits, absolutely storming away. It's like, I need to get like 7 videos done in about 2 weeks.
I see. I don't like being credited for my work really, but I will like put my own horn going. I like the My Hero music video where like you have the Foo Fighters playing the drums and shit, and the guy's just running into the house shaming the baby. That was me. You were the baby. I just ran in and was like, don't you worry, there goes my hero. Just, I'll do it. That's how I imagined it, and that's what I did. I ran in and I went, don't you worry, brother, I'll help you out. Now there is some instances where I got lazy with the editing. Like if you're wondering when there was no reactions to the first week of January, the last week of December, yeah, I wanted Ash to do it, but then he just went, can you do it? And I went, maybe, and then I just went, oh fuck, I can't do it. But yeah, I mainly help out behind the scenes as much as I can. I put my LCA, you know, that's Leaving Cert applied. I put my LCA English award to excellence, and I help out with the scripts. I kind of help out if I need to watch anything. I try and help out my best. That's my main role behind the scenes. And
you're always quite good at just kind of barreling through a bunch of. It's like, all right, we need to watch this. All right, sound. This is how we're gonna do it. Okay, yeah. I'll write a bunch of the notes. You do your own bit afterwards. Sound. That is one thing you are always pretty good at doing.
And I know it's very hard because I can write for someone else about the EastEnders, but if I'm just gonna lay in on a little secret, lads, if you watch the podcast, I try and have notes, like so I have a vague idea of where to go, but it is harder for me to write notes on the week of EastEnders than doing a Christmas episode for some reason. Like, for example, I can give. If you want me to write a review on Christmas 2007 for Ash to then say to the camera, I can do that. But if you want me to do the week that just happened, I'm like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Like, it's just, my brain is weirdly wired, and that's what my main goal is. My main goal is to help up behind the scenes as much as I can. And obviously, if you wanted me to watch 2 hours of Hollyoaks with him, I'd be down, but I'd be like, increase that paycheck, baby. Increase that bloody paycheck. We don't get paid. Just saying. And
Yet.
yes, we're on £29. Let's go. I'm gonna get fucked because I'm in euros. Let's go. And yeah, so like I try and help out as much as I can behind the scenes. Like I do my best. Like if Ash is struggling with editing, like give it to me, I'll have a go. And then there's videos where I'm like, "Are you sure you don't need a hand, Ash?" And Ash like, "I am making the Godfather trilogy of editing here. Do not touch me. I am making the Godfather #4." And it's like,
Yes.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, Christmas was it was a big surprise, and then ended up then I grinded out that Christmas ranking, which did well, and I'm very happy for it. But fuck me, like it wasn't the most like polished thing ever, but that was fine because I basically had 2 weeks to get it done. Because I'd given myself that little room, which I probably needed in a sense, because I needed that really strict time schedule that I needed to get it done. But yeah, Jesus, I was waking up at 9. I was going to bed at midnight, just editing like, I need to put another 5-second clip so it doesn't get claimed by copyright. Yeah, woo! I put about fucking 600. I don't even know how many clips I needed to put in that fucking video, but it did turn out better than I thought it was going to. So, whew. But yeah, that was a stressful pick to the end of the year. And then all of the Coronation Street stuff popped off and basically got the same views in a video I recorded in about 10 minutes. Yeah, versus a video I spent like 2 weeks worth of work on.
It's the struggle of
The
being
duality of YouTube.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the struggle of being a YouTuber. Like, obviously, I don't really class myself as a YouTuber. I do keep up with the YouTube drama, but yeah, it's just funny because it's like,
I mean, you don't need to show your fucking drama knowledge to be a YouTuber, mate.
but they gotta know about the Tommy in it, no, I was gonna say Mr. Beast dream drama. They gotta know the drama between that. But yeah, I try my best to just stay in the background. But yeah, I just love it because Ash is like, okay, I've made The Godfather Part 4. On the other hand, I've made Hungry Jack's Part 2. Wait, why is Hungry Jack's Part 2 taking off? It's shit. And I'm like, it's YouTube. I don't know. I just laugh. Because there is videos where we swear in the first 40 seconds haven't got demonetized. Right? And then it's like, and then it's just like, there's like then a video where I accidentally say fuck in the first minute and YouTube's like, now then, you can't say that anymore. But if you look at this past video, I said it 40 seconds. Like I said it at the very start and it didn't get demonetized. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And if briefly you want to touch on it, the end of the year, I'm just going to include the start of January. We had a lovely conversation where, are you alright talking about it?
Yeah. Nice.
We're obviously just like the boss man did to Ash in the upstairs bedroom in 2023. In 2025, virtually, I was sat in the chair. Ash goes, "We need to talk." I'm like, "Okay, fair enough. I don't think you should be in many videos." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Okay, what's this?" And he's like, "I want to do the single videos." I'm like, "Okay, but here's my stance." And he's like, "I don't like how you do stuff." I'm like, "I'm not trying to be you." I'm like, "No, fair enough." And we just basically had a disagreement. It was like the calmest disagreement ever. Where I'm
it was ridiculous. It was ridiculously like well measured for what the actual because basically over all the Christmas, riding the momentum, highest stats on the YouTube, finally got monetized, all the hypes get into my little brain because I did a lot of very successful videos over Christmas. A lot of the Coronation Street stuff did well. I didn't really know if I did much Hollyoaks. I didn't do too much Hollyoaks, but a lot of the Coronation Street really did well. So with all this newfound glory, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go it alone. I'm going to go it solo. And then even when you asked me, you're like, do you want me to leave? I couldn't even give a straight answer because at the end of the day, I didn't really want you to go. But in my brain, I just decided this is what I need to do. Do you actually want to do it though? No, not really.
Like, my favourite thing is, it's like when your child goes up, like when you're a parent and your child goes, "That's it, Mum, you're not giving me spaghetti hoops for dinner. I'm leaving. I'm going solo. I'm walking out of the house. I'm going to find my own house." And then you just see them at the end of the street eating a chocky bar. And it's like, "I miss me Mum, I miss me Dad." Like, that was basically, I'm like, "Do you want me to leave? I could leave." And he's like, No. And then I bring it up to my father, and my dad's like, you should have fucking left. I would not stand for this. I'm like, no, he's my friend. I'm not going to throw him under the bus. If he wants to be gone, I can leave. But at the same time, he's not thinking strategically. He's just thinking about the next month. He's not thinking about 5 months down the road, man. It's like, oh, here we go. Another Coronation Street video. Wait to go, dickhead. And it's like, Jesus. You've only thought about the month. And that's,
no, exactly.
And that's been...
It was honestly one of the most measured, like, it was the most calm conversation we've had, and it was basically me saying, "Get the fuck out." Because I'm pissed off, but I don't like it, but
because the thing is, he's like, I don't want to use it. I don't want to make this like dream where he basically says I'm autistic, so like Ash is autistic, so I couldn't really get mad. So if I shout, it's just gonna make things worse. So I can't really be like, I'm not mad, Ash. I'm just pissed off. Like, I couldn't shout at him because obviously I live in a flat, so there's neighbours above me and behind me. So I'm kind of like, not mad, but I really am. Just watch your tone. And then I'm like, do you want to do some videos? And he's like, yeah. And then we recorded 3 videos. Like, nothing happened. It was It was my favourite thing. Much. It was like my favourite thing because it was like, just, I want you gone. All right. Want to do videos? Yeah. That's basically.
Mate, I want you gone. Do you actually want me gone? No, not really. I've just worked myself into a bit of a half over this last period.
And and that's pretty much our year in review. We kind of went, we kind of did our own things. I still appear, don't worry. The one Piggy fan who's holding on. I appear in podcasts. I appear in like 2 or 3 videos a week. I appear in rankings and stuff where I give my own tags. Like, you can't find me on this channel. I'm just like a golden nugget, hard to see, but easy to spot because I'm fat.
And now I suppose now I'm in a spot where I'm once again grappling with the burnout that I've inflicted on myself, but also, peak attention, peak viewership, all eyes on us, and I'm like, I'll sleep when I'm dead, pretty much. Like, I'm trying to convert all of yous to be regulars after this. It's not like, I don't want it to be like last Christmas where it's like, oh, and all of the feet bots are gone. Well, back to depression now. Like, it's kind of it's the impossible scenario because theoretically I do really need to switch off. But I also reached a point where I didn't know how and I didn't know what to do to fucking chill. And I still barely do. I'm just about getting there. But yeah, at the end of the day, we are people, and people are indeed very flawed. Especially me. So there we are.
And just to wrap
But we're still here. And we're still going from strength to strength.
And just to wrap it around, I want to say again, thank you for the 1K subscribers. We're nearly at 1K, 0.1K. I butchered that. But 1.1K, there we go, Piggy. Piggy failed LCA match. LCA match is the easiest level of match you can do in high school / secondary school. I failed that, okay? So just bear with me, okay? But when that money comes through, I'm definitely gonna be like, wow, 50 quid to me, 10 quid to you, Ash. Piggy, do you know maths? No. But my favourite thing is I post a question to you, and if Ash wants to say anything, he can. I post a question to you. What is your favourite moment or highlight of this past year of you fans watching us doing what we do, where we just run to a camera professionally and talk nonsense? If you have a favourite moment, let us know. If you have any video ideas you want us to do, let us know. We will try our best to talk back to you. Well, I say us, Ash, to talk back to you. I do read your comments. I just don't reply because I don't see a point. So thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Do you have anything else to say?
No, it's just cheers for the 1K. It's been flattering to have all the attention. It's been pretty nice to have people actually want my opinion on things. Like, it's generally what this channel was made for, essentially, is just it's basically just giving me my own little fucking sandpit to just play around in, really. Oh, people actually want to hear what I think about Coronation Street, even though the last 4 videos have been Coronation Street is awful and here's why. And then I'm voiced with all the people saying it's not been in 10 years, which I don't agree with. Like, I don't agree with. But am I going to stop taking the attention? No. The answer's no. We've been doing YouTube long enough to realize that it doesn't fucking matter what opinion I have or we have in a video. If the title's a little bit hostile, everybody's just going to give their hot take immediately. So it's a weird, like it's funny because I disagree, but also am I going to probably keep catering to that? Probably. Let's be honest.
I do love.
I'm not going to like change my opinions because of what, like, I'm not going to try ride the wave and try to act like I'm believing something I don't. I'm not going to say Coronation Street shit if I'm actually liking it. I'm not going to just completely fabricate my own beliefs. But, you know.
I will say I look at it like in the Simpsons movie when they put like the dome over Springfield. There's just a dome over his sandbox, so he's just throwing sand. It's like, oh come on, Jerry, catch the sand. And it's just like the sand's going back and hitting him in the face. And he's like, you guys like my opinions, don't you? And it's like, yeah. It's just that's how I imagine it. It's just in a sand pit with a dome over it, throwing sand at himself. The content.
But I mean, hey, we are apparently in the top 10% of all YouTubers, because not many channels ever reach 1,000 subs, so it's a pretty cool privilege to be here.
And just to finish off, where's my plaque, YouTube? I want my plaque. I don't care. If we ever get a plaque, it's going to me. It's not going to you. I don't care how hard you work. That's my final point. It's going to me. I want some. I only have one award in my room.
They send out multiple for people.
I don't care. I only have one award in my room. I want a second one, okay?
If you just start doing the shorts like I asked you to, maybe we'll get there. But yes,
thank you.
That is the year in review. Bit of a scattered one. For some reason, I decided, hey, should we record this at 9 p.m. on a Sunday? Yeah, we should, said Piggy.
Yeah,
has it been particularly great? It's been alright.
It's kind
but then, fuck it, this is a self-wanky video talking about our journey. Like, who cares that much? So
yeah,
I can't even make a sexy title to make people watch this. This will get like 70 views, and that's fine.
We show our bare arse on camera. Let's go. That's the title. But yeah, thank you.
I'd unsubscribe if someone did that to me.
But that's
that.
But thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.